Toronto City Councillors Mike Cole and Josh Matlow are holding a press conference today to demand answers on the delayed and over-budget Eglinton Crosstown project.
The questions continue to be asked about a completion date for the LRT project and the issues responsible for the delays. Metrolinx announced back in September that the multi-billion-dollar system would not be completed this year as planned. Mayor John Tory says that he spoke with the head of the provincial agency this week about the project, which has been under construction since 2011. And Toronto City Councillor for Ward 12, Josh Matlow, joins us live with more. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning.
Okay, how'd you get your updates on this project, and what was the last update that you got?
Well, those of us who live and work along Eglinton have known that this project has been a mess for years. Now, recently, Councillor Mike Cole and I obtained a confidential document demonstrating that everything that we saw with our eyes is true. The original completion date was supposed to be in 2020 for this Metrolinx project. Then they said it was going to be 2021. Now we're into 2022. And now they're admitting, like we've seen in these documents, that they really have no idea when we're going to see the light at the end of the tunnel. There is a litany of problems within this confidential document that was leaked to us that demonstrates dozens of failures, problems that are still yet to be resolved. And what's clear to me is that the real issues seem to be between the consortium, the contractors, and Metrolinx themselves. And in fact, Metrolinx has spent more time, it seems, over the past few years in court losing these arguments than actually being able to meet completion dates. Another thing we saw is that the budget has gone up over $1 billion, and there's been no transparency. The consequence is that businesses and communities have been suffering during this nightmare.
Yeah, absolutely, Josh. Hey, I echo your sentiment. I live right by the Crosstown, Eglinton, and trying to get to the Allen or even exit from the Allen is a nightmare. And you're right, there's no work going on every time you pass by. It's down to one lane. So who's accountable in all this? Is it Metrolinx? Is it the contractors? Because it doesn't seem like the mayor has any push here, or even the province. Who can do something about this?
I'll correct you in one, if I may. It is the province. I mean, ultimately, Metrolinx is a provincial agency, and Minister Carolyn Mulroney and Premier Ford ultimately are accountable for this project, as were their predecessors. So, the reality is, Councillor Mike Cole and I are requesting a public inquiry. And this isn't just to be punitive. I mean, yes, we are upset. We have people who care about who we serve who have been not only affected, but some people's livelihoods along Eglinton have been destroyed. So they need accountability. Communities have dysfunctional traffic in their neighborhoods. But we also want to make sure that there are lessons learned, because the province and Metrolinx are just about to undertake the construction on the Ontario line. We don't want to see this happen again. And I think that this P3 model that was promised to protect the public from risks needs to be evaluated too, because the contrary has happened. I mean, the reality is, there have been years of delays, costs continue to rise. Our communities are struggling through this real nightmare that they're living through. And we want to see also some reasonable compensation to these neighborhoods and these businesses, because I mean, I've spoken with business owners, we call them businesses. These are people whose entire livelihoods and savings are out the window. They thought that they were going to benefit from this transit years ago, and now, I mean, they're taking on the burden for the rest of society, and I think that they need to be treated fairly.
Okay, so Mayor John Tory suggests that an inquiry will be not only timely, but costly, and ultimately ineffective in preventing things like this in the future. So how do you respond?
The mayor said it would be ineffective?
Ultimately,
and
yeah.
Costly? That's how I would describe how this project has been managed. I can't disagree with the mayor more. And I think that's irresponsible to just negate this before hearing the arguments for it. I mean, the reality is, this project has been mismanaged. Business owners and people who live along Eglinton have suffered. It's not about, we all want the transit to be built, but we want it to be built well, effectively, and in a responsible way. This has been the opposite of that. And they are just about to begin projects like the Ontario line. So, I mean, all of us not only deserve answers as to what went wrong here for transparency's sakes and for accountability, but also to learn lessons so that this model that they used, which was really a disaster, does not happen again.
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody wants to see a repeat of that. That would certainly be very troubling. City Councillor Josh Matlow, appreciate your time and shedding light on this issue. Thank you.
Thank you.